Hey, welcome in, folks. Week 18. We didn't know what we were going to do, but we said, you'll only live once. We'll do it again. Welcome into our hashtag. We have no games playing. We have none, but we're still doing rankings because we're doing it for the people. Jeremy, how are you doing today on this lovely Week 18 Championship Sunday, part 2?
I'm doing great because I have no fantasy championships going on, not because I'm not in them, because my leagues don't have them, because all of these guys are out. Teams are resting players, teams are forfeiting on the season. It's crazy, but guess what? We are here for you. Like Jesse said, for the people who are in these weird Week 18 championships. I mean, you really had to have a commissioner a couple of years ago. Was it 2 years ago when the league went from 17 to 18 weeks? And then it might have been a few extra years. And then like the commissioner had to be like, oh, we got to move that. We got to move that finals game. I mean, look, they really had to like thoughtfully do that. So if you're in a league like that, our condolences. Try to get them to move it to week 17 so you have to deal with this crap. But we're going to try and parse through it and help you if you're in this situation, because there's a lot going on, and we unfortunately have a lot of names to talk about that we hoped we'd never have to talk about again. Hello, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs, Pasternak's back in our lives. We got Austin Hooper, the tight end 1 for the Patriots this week. This is a vintage throwback. We're bringing up names that are either rookies who have done nothing, like the Will Shipley, who's pushing top 12 this week. Yeah, that's where we're at. Or, we got these old timey games. They're like, oh, yeah, that guy started at one point in time. Speaking of Carson Wentz, he gets to decide the fate of like 8 teams this week. The world's resting on his shoulders for the Chiefs. So Carson Wentz could go YOLO and he could, make the Bengals come in, or he could just, shit the bed. And guess what? The Broncos get in. So it's gonna be fascinating to watch how this whole week plays out. So I'm excited to people just to watch Wentz make a horrible mistake at some point in this week where he just does one of those Will Levis Mayo meme type moves, and you're like, he's the original Will Levis, the prototype. That's Carson Wentz.
Amazing.
So we're already we're getting names that are gonna throw people for a loop. I'm gonna pull up my rankings on this because it's very hard. I like Carter a lot this week. I like Charbonnet a good amount too. Thielen, you know what you're getting. I'm assuming this Ray Davis and then Blake Corum. Now, Jeremy, how are your rankings on these players, and where do you have them ranked? Because I'm showing my flex rankings to tell you. I think it might be Corum, but I need to double check. Where are you at on these guys?
Jesse, I have Zach Charbonnet as RB6 this week. It's absolutely ridiculous. Playing the Rams, we know the resting guy. They're probably resting Kyron. He's doubtful at the moment. We'll see how that offense goes and what they need to do. But Cooper Kupp, I can't remember if he's in or out, but that man needs to sit down regardless. Just take a break up, rest up. Not that they need any of these guys, but you just hope for health in 2025. But Zach Charbonnet, without Ken Walker, this Seattle team, they want to win. But Zach Charbonnet, more importantly, I think has something to prove, and he really wants to prove it to his coaching staff, because he needs to be able to get on the field when Kenneth Walker's healthy. That's really the thing that hasn't happened this season, but it really needs to. Zach Charbonnet locked in RB1 this week for me.
Yeah, Charbonnet season's by far the safest. You know what you're getting. I will say, if we had some Matthew Stafford, which we do not this week, we have Jimmy Garoppolo, I would feel a hell of a lot better about Mr. Blake Corum. But Blake Corum's going to get 24 touches in this game. So do with that information what you will. So if we rank these guys from worst to first, I would probably go Davis is last for me. And then I have Carter right behind actually Corum. I have Thielen in between those guys, and then Charbonnet kind of rounds it out. I think the safety with Thielen, you know what you're getting, right? So he's more of a four player. Yeah, 100%.
I do wonder about Thielen. But yes, to answer this question, I would sit Jacobs for Charbonnet, because I think Jacobs himself said that he's going to have a reduced workload. Wasn't that Jacobs? Somebody came out and said, I'm going to play, but I'm not going to play nearly as much. But to your point on Thielen, this team wants to lose this game in the Carolina Panthers. I think the players want to win, the coach wants to win, but I don't think anyone's really in danger, and they need a higher draft pick. So are they going to roll to Adam Thielen every single play? I don't think they should. No. They certainly could. I have him as my wide receiver 16 against Atlanta, but we know Atlanta needs to win as well.
Yes.
Because they technically have a chance to get into the playoffs. I doubt it because I think Tampa will come with it, but we'll see. I'm going to go Charbonnet.
Yeah, I have Jacob still above him, but yeah, you could definitely make the case Charbonnet. Same tier. So it really depends how you feel about those offenses and if you believe it's changed one way or the other. The Seahawks are playing they benched why am I blanking on his name? The starter in the Rams. I can't remember his name, quarterback. Matthew Stafford. Thank you.
Yep.
We got there. The line swung 8 points in this game. The Rams were a favorite. As soon as the news came out that he was benched, the Seahawks became a favorite. It switched 8 points, where they're almost 7-point favorites in this game. So that kind of shows you how they're going to believe in Charbonnet. He's going to get a ton of work. Obviously, we have the narrative of people needing milestones. The DK Metcalf, he needs a certain amount of yards to get that milestone. I think they're going to force feed him the ball. Thankfully, Geno Smith can do all of that. Charbonnet can get hit. So I think Charbonnet's super safe. I believe in Jacobs. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, either one of those guys would be good. It depends on your flex, I guess, because if you're worried about Jacobs, maybe you're treating him as a flex. But if he's your RB1 or RB2, then you probably have room to get Charbonnet in your lineup regardless, I would say. So, sorry, it's a long-winded way of saying it. Big DK, let me know if you have a flex spot you can play. Because, yeah, Charbonnet should be in lineups for sure this week. Yeah, so I guess obviously we don't have any games this week, so we get the more kind of just bird's eye view. You get to relax, not stress about lineups. We're talking about the show, which is nice for once, so we don't have to do this stuff on the fly. News comes out, cool. I don't have to worry about it. That guy, that's nice. I guess for you this week, are you looking for anyone in particular to kind of take a step forward, maybe to boost their dynasty values, or anyone maybe jumping into a role that they can play into a role in 2025? They could springboard themselves into that in 2025.
Yeah, so we know Mason Rudolph is not an NFL quality starting quarterback. He's a fine backup. Will Levis, this is your final opportunity. He's supposed to be on the field a bunch for some reason. They're still giving him this shot. He's playing Houston, right? A team that is fumbling their way into the playoffs. Just be good. Just be good, Will Levis. Make good decisions, but be productive and show this team that you deserve to be on the roster next year. I don't know if he's going to get a shot to be the starter, but at least put your name in the conversation to be rostered on this team next year. And maybe down the line it works out for you. But yeah, I don't see that happening for him. Cooper Rush is interesting as well in Dallas. He's played pretty well for a backup QB. He's playing for his job. But as far as quarterbacks looking for starting situations, no, I don't see that. With the news that Aaron Rodgers is potentially retiring and Sam Darnold could stay on this Minnesota Vikings team, which kind of locks up him and JJ, locks up two quality starters on one team. I think we're just going to have a lot of open spots. And then you might see guys like Gardner Minshew find his seventh team in 7 years, or it's just a mess at the QB position. And running backs, wide receivers, please rest. The only guys who I think need to come out and make a name for themselves, or maybe some of these rookies. Adonai Mitchell is one guy who should come out and really try to have a good game. Anyone on the Patriots, please, can we do something? Or Boutte, just continue to do what he does, Booty, whatever the hell his name is. So
yes, 100%.
I don't know, man. I don't know. No.
Yeah, the New England stuff's fascinating, right? Because all talk right now on the time is New England Patriots are a very high pick. Very, very high pick.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter is going to could theoretically be the first player taken off the board 101. That's entirely possible because this draft class quarterback sucks, by the way. It is not good. So it might not be quite as bad as in 2022 with Kenny Pickett, who, Kenny Pickett is starting for the Eagles right now. But yeah, Kenny Pickett's not a good NFL quality quarterback. So it's going to make an interesting case where if Hunter goes to the Patriots, that's a wide open wide receiver room. It's why the fuck not play him 1,000 points and just let him roll out and see if he can do both? Because they need help on both sides of the ball, right? You lock him with Gonzo on the backside, then you play him offensively, you get a playmaker. You get somebody to help out that wide receiver room because Drake May is begging for somebody. He's obviously, I want them to fix their offensive line, all of that stuff. But yeah, we got a question from Jesse, so thanks for being patient here with us. Appreciate it, fellow Jesse. So shout out to you. Drake London as a wide receiver 1, and then I have Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley, Jalen McMillan. Who would you start, and would you probably flex as well? Because they have Blake Corum with their flex. Now, I'm going to play Corum at flex. I'm not going to play these wide receivers above him because I trust him enough. If you're worried about it, I'm the guy that's auto out. I'm not doing Ridley this week with. I don't want to do it with freaking.
I get it.
No, thank you, please. How do you have these guys ranked? Because for me, it's McMillan and Garrett Wilson back to back in rankings. I don't mind taking the shot on McMillan. With the thing that Rodgers says he's possibly retired, do you think Rodgers is trying to go out on top and just give it like a YOLO performance where he's like, I got one left in the tank. I'm going to try to do it all. Do you think that's in the case range of outcomes, or are you going to roll with McMillan over Wilson in your wide receiver spot?
I think Rodgers probably wants to throw 6 touchdown passes. Yeah, I think he definitely he's that kind of personality. Why mail in the final game of your career? Just go out there and Kevin Costner no hit, whatever the hell the name of that movie is. Just no hit the final game of your career. Why not? I got Garrett at 23, McMillan at 25, Ridley at 27. So I'm right there with you. I'm going to sit Ridley. And Drake London is locked in. He's my wide receiver 11. So I think you got the right process. Ridley's the odd man out for me as well.
Yeah, it's just you know what you're getting on that level of quarterback play. It is treacherous to say the least, and particularly we talked about Ridley's role extensively this season. Right, he's a downfield threat, downfield weapon. When you're dealing with suspect quarterback play, by the way, that has been suspect quarterback play all season in Tennessee. Like it just makes it a lot harder. So I get it. Like Rudolph and Ridley have been decent this year, but like we saw Ridley's coming off like a very up and down last few weeks. Yeah, I feel a lot safer with Jalen McMillan just to the role he plays. And by the way, I think Jalen McMillan is priority buy for people in Dynasty if you want to buy, because I know Chris Godwin is a free agent. Who knows what's going to happen? That was a severe leg injury. I do not expect him back like anytime soon. Yeah. Like he's probably not coming back till 26. And if he did, it's late 25. So yeah, I think McMillan's priority buy the offseason.
Yep. Also, Derek Stingley, Pro Bowler, I believe, made the Pro Bowl. Like he's been phenomenal all season. Really so he's going to lock him down. And then, you're thinking, oh, well, maybe Chigakonkwo has an option. Houston, I think they're 20th, 18th or 20th worst matchup against. I'm looking for the numbers here. I lost them. 18th worst matchup against the tight end. So I don't even know that Chig comes back. And Al-Shair, I believe, is back and healthy as well to kind of help plug up the middle. He was out for a majority of the middle of the season, and he's got a decent, he's just a decent all-around linebacker. So I'm not confident about anybody in this game, especially with Tajay out. Yikes for the Tennessee Titans.
How are we feeling here? It's full PPR. They need a flex. Our boy, Tyrone Tracy, once again. Doing Brian Robinson. Are you going Blake Corum, Keenan Allen, or Michael Carter? Because there's a lot of good options this week. And a lot of these guys have done nothing, basically, like Corum and Carter, but they have boosted roles this week. I like Carter a lot this week as well. Where are you at on these rankings, and who would the guy that you flex be?
Tracy's really interesting because I'm not sure how the Giants are going to roll in this one. They want to beat the Eagles as players. The coach probably wants to lose to try and hopefully solidify his job. But if you believe the beat, Brian Daboll and company are out, which means he don't care. YOLO, win the game at all costs. Go out, make this an audition for your potential next job. Because Daboll, I think, will certainly get OC looks immediately as soon as he leaves. So Tyrone Tracy, I think, is a good play. He's my RB20 this week. Brian Robinson, we saw him struggle, but he's going against Dallas. He's my RB8, Jesse. He's my RB8 ahead of Breece Hall. I think he bounces back. But how much do they play him? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's really the concern. I don't want to play Keenan. It's so close. I guess I go Tracy, but yeah, Corum and Carter are interesting as well.
Yeah, like you have a lot of good options here. I will just say that. Like you can pick and choose whichever one you want to go to. For me, to your point, Brian Robinson's really safe. I like Corum a lot. I think you could talk yourself into Corum over Brian Robinson, but yeah, Brian Robinson just going to your point against Dallas. I don't know if the game gets out of hand, they take him out, but they've made no reference to him like not playing his normal role. The nice thing is Dallas is defense is pretty abysmal as far as that goes. So yeah, I'm fine with Brian Robinson. I like Tracy as well. I like all these guys actually. Like what you're getting out of Keenan Allen. It's it's a fine matchup. It is
for sure.
So Yeah, I think it really comes down to Corum. Brian Robinson would be the top guys for me. Tracy, if you want to do it, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I'll say Tracy. I think Brian Robinson is my highest though. If I do, he's RB9, RB10, right in that range. There's all these guys are lumped together. I have Tracy at 13. I have Corum at 14. I have all these guys like right there. So it just kind of shows you where they're all at for you. So yeah, long-winded way of saying, yeah, just play Brian Robinson. All right, Brandon, thanks for joining us. Should you replace Josh Jacobs with Aaron Jones since he has an unlimited snap count? Now, I have not heard anything about this from Josh Jacobs. I'm trying to find this information. So I'm curious where you heard this on Josh Jacobs playing a limited snap count. If you are worried about that, then yes, I would play Aaron Jones if you have information on that, because they're trying to get that one seed. It's not going to be a limited snap show for like Aaron Jones. Like he's going to play the full game. They're trying to beat the freaking Detroit Lions, get the one seed. You get that bye. That's how it's possible. So if Jeremy, I'm assuming you're looking this up as we're talking.
Yeah, I have it. So this is on Fantasy Pros right now. It says Josh Jacobs states the obvious of how much he'll play. Quote, just being honest, being realistic, I don't see me taking that many carries in this game. Obviously, I want to play. I'm going to push to play, and I'm playing, but I don't see myself taking 30 carries. So Chris Brooks has been a guy who's been, coming on. They want to get him touches. But again, Green Bay isn't, I don't know if they're locked in, but I don't think they necessarily control their destiny either.
Yeah, they're locked in.
Okay, so they're locked into what, 4 or 5? So maybe 3. I'm not sure. They must be 4. They must be 5 or 6.
They're the third in their own division, yeah. So they're gonna be like one of the wild card teams to play in the league. So yeah, I don't think they could boost their rankings very much, like it's kind of there in that set. So yeah, I would bench Jacobson. I would for sure bench Jacobs. Like I would do that.
Bench
and then
Jacobs and Aaron Jones. Yeah.
I would say Big DK, if you're with us, I would bench Jacobs for Corum or Charbonnet. I would do that and roll that just because, like, that's Jacobs telling you he's clearly not going to play the full game. Like, they'll probably pull him at halftime, third quarter, somewhere in that range. So you better hope he scores a lot in early, because otherwise it's just like, yo, bro, like, what's the point? Or they could just give him a first quarter. Like, you have all these ranges of outcomes. So yeah, it's terrifying. This is the thing that sucks about week 18 is we have this very much unknown. Like, obviously there's injuries and things of that nature, but it makes it all really difficult. So coming off of his monster performance, thanks for joining us, Sabrina. We appreciate you. Zacchaeus had a monster game. SD called that one. I was like, don't bench Tyreek Hill for him. It turns out both were the answer last week. But Zacchaeus coming off a monster game. Are you playing him over Blake Corum, who we've talked about, Keenan Allen, or Ray Davis this week? And if you're not, who are you starting between that group?
God, probably not.
Yeah, me either. No worries.
Look, I just don't expect Washington to be fully invested and involved in this game on offense. We know that Philly is locked into the 2 in the NFC. We know that the 1 will be decided tonight, which will be an incredibly exciting game between Detroit and Minnesota. And that other one is going to plummet all the way down to 4 or 5. But Washington, again, is one of these teams that it doesn't really matter for them where they finish up. They're a wild card, so they're automatically 5, 6, or 7. And to be fair, like, you don't know who you're playing yet. With the 1, because that's decided later. Do you or do you not want to play the Eagles? Like, who cares? Like, these teams are all juggernauts at the top. So I think they're going to use this game as a nice warm-up, but they're not going to, Zacchaeus is locked in right now. Noah Brown is hurting. Zacchaeus has been their number 2. I don't expect Jaden Daniels to be out there too much, to be honest.
It's not possible. The thing is, like, the playoff picture does shift between them and Green Bay. If they win, they get the 6th seed. I don't know how much they care about that. On the flip side for the Packers, if they win and the Commanders lose, the Packers get the 6th seed. But odds are the Packers are going to be the 7th seed regardless, which is crazy because the Packers are a very good NFL team. They're the 7th seed. That shows you how freaking stacked the NFC North is. So, newsflash: the odds are outside of the Eagles. I would say the winner's coming out of the North, and more than likely, I'll say you're basically betting the Eagles against the North in the NFC. So, we will see. For me, it's a long one to say I'm playing Corum. I like Ray Davis. I would play Keenan Allen over Zacchaeus as well because like he's a free agent. Like they have no reason to really rest him. Like there's, you know what I'm saying? So unless Keenan Allen's just doing a veteran thing, he's like, I'm not going to play, which doesn't seem like Keenan Allen is professional. So I'd say Zacchaeus is 4th for me out of these guys.
Yeah. Just to put a bow on it, I have Keenan Allen, wide receiver 29. I should probably move him up. I'm not going to. I got Zacchaeus, wide receiver 37. So yeah, I'm also Keenan Allen quite significantly above Zacchaeus. So Corum or Allen for me, I go Corum.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch Penix again this week and see if like that's the thing. He has a connection with Zacchaeus. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe that's why he boosted him. But from what we know, like it seems like he's kind of going to be an ancillary piece in that offense. It's still Terry McLaurin who stopped one guy. Falls apart. All right, Adam, thank you for joining us. London or Adams. And Achane scares the crap out of me. Tua's not supposed to Tua's doubtful, which means like we were talking about. All my freaking Dolphins guys plummet. Like we saw Achane last week without with Tua, he was a nightmare. That's actually 2 weeks ago. Sorry. They just don't. He doesn't produce. Like it just is what it is. So yeah, I have Adams above London, but it is the same area. Don't mind either one of those guys. If we're picking, I'm taking Adams. Like you talked about with the Rodgers, we're gonna run with that scenario. Like Adams has been incredible there, Rodgers, this year. Like since he's been there, he's been money. And Drake London's kind of been a little bit more hit or miss with Penix than he was, so he's a little bit less safe. And then so the question is Achane, or are you gonna pick up someone like P. Ryan, Gibson, Sanders, or Edwards-Helaire? Now this gets to the point, and I don't know if you know anything about the Patriots, how much Gibson's going to play this week.
No,
could entirely do that. Yeah, I don't think you want to do that. I think at least we know Achane's getting touches, right? That's the thing. We don't know the rest of these guys how it's going to shake out. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he did step into New Orleans last week. The offense is a disaster, but he's got the majority of the work out of the running back position. What did that give you? It gave you like 4 points. So it's just basically like it doesn't really matter. Sanders, I don't want to do freaking Miles Sanders, man. Like I have some hate in my heart for Miles Sanders, how much he burned me a couple years ago. So we're just gonna let that one live. And then P. Ryan or Gibson, I think you should just play Achane and hopefully it works out. Yes, like it's a long way of saying that. So yeah. And between you, are you going Adams or are you going London?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Adams. I technically have London ranked 1 spot higher. I'm probably just gonna rectify that here. I love Drake London's matchup. The thing is, crap, I'm gonna go Drake London. Screw it. The thing is Devonta Adams and the Jets don't have much to play for except for maybe legacy. Adams, does he want to go out with Rodgers? Because certainly the two of them can go off and start a business together and like make money. You know, they've probably got plenty in the bank. But Adams, I believe, probably wants to play again. So he wants to turn it up in this game. But Drake London in a must-win game against Carolina with Michael Penix getting more comfortable, I can't put Adams over London. So I'm going to go London, but they're 11 and 12 in my rankings. I love both of these guys. And if you can flex someone else into your RB spot, put Achane in the flex for a second and then immediately jettison him for one of these wide receivers, then I would do that if you can.
Yeah, if you had 2 other decent running backs this week, if you had like other running backs that are getting volume, like we talked about Carter, Charbonnet, those type of guys, I would play those guys over Achane. But yeah, like I want both those wide receiver lineups. I'm with you. I have Adams wide receiver 8, Adams wide receiver 9. So yeah, we're rolling with those guys. They're very, very good. Thank you, Cody, for joining us. Are you going Breece Hall or Juwan Jennings in full PPR? Are we just all in on the Jets this week? Is it just sounds like what we're doing this week, Jeremy?
I can't. No, because if it's the Aaron Rodgers show, we know it's not the Breece Hall show, right? It hasn't been the Breece Hall show all season. He's still my RB9. Jennings is my wide receiver 20, but I kind of want to play Jennings. I kind of want to play Jennings. They're a lot closer than I think they should be in full PPR. I want to play Jennings, Jesse.
Does the quarterback, because Purdy's not playing this week, does that change your view on Juwan Jennings and make it so? Are you still going to roll with Jennings, even though that is no Brock Purdy this week in the San Francisco
Dobbs?
It's the pass route, my friend.
You're right.
Come on.
Damn it.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Breece Hall.
Yeah, Breece Hall. I love myself Juwan Jennings. I think he's going to have a very much profile role in this offense next year just because he's been very good. The target share, like he is definitely kind of not hit the last few weeks, but the target share and all that stuff is still there. So he's still getting looks. It's just, the offense with Josh Dobbs, like I just urge you guys to go watch Josh Dobbs play quarterback. It's going to tell you all you need to know about Josh Dobbs as quarterback. He's a freaking like rocket scientist, super smart. Just NFL quarterback play does not work in his brain. Like it's just not the best thing in the world. So yeah, we're gonna go Breece Hall. It just feels a hell of a lot safer than for and Sealy. Brendan, how you doing today? Have a few more running backs. I think I asked a question earlier, but Charbonnet, Bucky, Aaron Jones, Michael Carter. Goodness gracious, my friends. Yeah, you're playing Bucky. I'm just gonna say that right now. Do not bench him. Aaron Jones, yes, lock those in. And then is it Charbonnet or is it Michael Carter for you, Jeremy? Or do you have another way if you look at this?
No, I'm just wondering how much Bucky's gonna play. You got Rachaad White there, who's used to handling the load. You don't need him. You're playing New Orleans, right? You need to save Bucky. I know it's a must-win game, but I really don't see New Orleans challenging them. So I will play Bucky, but he worries me. Charbonnet, I think he's locked in just because we got no Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet has something to prove. And I don't think they're really going to stress this passing offense in the final game of the season for no reason, but we'll see. Yeah, Carter's my odd man out.
Yeah, like New Orleans defense is hashtag bad at football. They're bottom forward fantasy points allowed to running backs. I think Bucky, even if he plays half the game, is going to have a hell of a day. So
Yeah, you're right.
like I think you just got to play Bucky and just live with it. Yeah, he's my highest rank. I don't know. So yeah, Team Bucky's like RB4. Yeah, I've been with you, but we're both going to bench Carter and just live with it because we like what Charbonnet provides, and the offense has got Geno Smith as his quarterback, so it makes sense.
Yep.
All right, Demarcus, thanks for joining us. Jonathan Taylor, Rashad White, JT. Like I just like, are you playing Rashad White?
You cannot bench the playoff RB1 overall Jonathan Taylor. You can't do that.
Yes.
I get it. He's my RB2. He's playing Jacksonville. You can't bench him for Rashad White. I get it. No, don't do that.
And then which 3 wide receivers are you starting? Are you going Adam Thielen, Tyreek Hill with likely no Tua? Malik Neighbors or Ladd McConkey? I think I know where I'm leaning, and I don't like this answer on this.
And I think I know where you're leaning as well, and I think we're benching Tyreek Hill.
Yes, we are.
Why?
He was good, I will say, a couple of weeks ago in this whole scenario where I was like, oh, you can't play him. He did have a good game because H&M struggled, but I really don't want to bet on that. And I will just say I have Adam Thielen, he's the third of the 3 above him. He's my wide receiver 21. Tyreek's like wide receiver 20. Where's he at? 29 in that range for me. Like I'm just not even on Tyreek this week. So that kind of, even though it's it's the Jets, like their Jets defense has been abysmal in the back end without Salah. Yeah, I think you just got to bench Tyreek and just hopefully it does not go off. Yeah. That's kind of the thing that sucks about Tyreek because he's still so talented.
I got Thielen 17, Tyreek 19. Those other 2 guys are top 10, so you got to play them.
Yeah,
fire them up. Yes. You're playing the rooks. But here's the thing: I just don't know what Carolina's doing. I'm pretty confident they want to lose this game, and I know Atlanta wants to win, so maybe it's a high-scoring game. In which case, you're happy with that. Everybody's happy with that. If Atlanta wins and Carolina loses, but the game is high-scoring. But Tyreek Hill, just, they're playing the Jets. The secondary has been terrible. He wants to torch Sauce. Can he do it with Can he do it with what's his name? Snoop? Snoop Huntley, QB. He did it last week, like you said. So I'm going to go Thielen, but yeah, I don't like benching Hill, but I will.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing where it's like, and he just honestly has not earned targets the role he was last year. Like we talked about this a bunch. Like it's a clear fall off if it's just age or if it's pressure, whatever it is. He's clearly been worse last year. I think he's got like 50 less targets than last year, so that just tells you where he's at. Obviously, appreciate you, Adam. Thank you. Yeah, we're happy to share, man. All right, tight end question. Oh, just a motley crew of tight ends. Jake Ferguson with Trey Lance. Yeah, another just nightmare of a quarterback situation. Trey Lance, I don't know. The problem is we get a bunch more. Foster Moreau, Noah Fant, Kyle Pitts available. You said you were already really high on Pitts this week, so I'm assuming you're leaning Pitts. Is that where you're going with him against Carolina, or are you going the other guys?
I'm so high on Kyle Pitts this week. He's my tight end 10, which we know that means literally nothing, but he's playing Carolina in a must-win game.
Yes.
That's the thing, is if he gets in the end zone for you, he probably pays off at that tight end 10 price tag. He did it last week and caught a really nice ball from Penix. Absolutely lasered in. And a little sliding diving grab from him as well. Can Kyle Pitts you? Of course, he's been doing it all season. Yes. But I'm trusting him over Ferguson this week. Pitts at 10, Ferguson 14. These other guys don't even factor in. Those are desperation, hope they get a touchdown guys. I'm going with Pitts, who is also a desperation, hope he gets a touchdown guy, but he's at least got the athletic, gifted potential to at least do what he did last week,
Yeah, the Kyle Pitts stuff, man. Yeah, it's we're riding the Kyle Pitts train once again. One more time, we'll do it, and then we'll see. The funny thing is, like, I saw someone put out, I think it might have been Sam Shepard or one of those guys over there. I was saying, at this point in time in Travis Kelce's career, at the age that Kyle Pitts is, he had not caught an NFL pass. Just at this point in time. Because also Travis Kelce lost, like, basically was out his entire rookie year with that injury. And then he basically never missed a game the rest of his career. So, go figure how that works out. I've
got a question for you. In Kyle Pitts' last 6 games, does he have over or under 100 receiving yards?
Oh, combined?
Yes.
I mean, he's got to have over. Oh, it's close.
It's really close. I don't know the answer, but I know it's
probably
really
under
close.
just because he's Kyle Pitts, but
I'm not doing the math properly. It's gotta be slightly under but I'll do the calculations in a
Pitsy.
second. But the point is, it's just around 100 receiving yards in his last 6 games.
Brutal.
I don't know if Ferguson is much better, to be honest, but I'll calculate this. I'll have a look at Ferguson and I'll give you that answer in a minute. But I'm still going Pitts.
Yeah, like if it was Cooper Rush, I would easily play Ferguson. It's Trey Lance scares the crap out of me, man. Like he's just not a quality quarterback. And maybe you think he just dumps it off to the tight end. Entirely possible. They clearly don't want you to play Trey Lance. What they're doing, Dallas sucks because they're dicking over Cooper Rush. So they're like, hey, guess what? We don't want to pay you the bonus. What is that? 102? Oh, baby. We're golden. I love the calculator. We're throwing it back to 1982.
We're going analog, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, Ferguson, I'm still starting him over like Moreau and stuff just because I don't trust those guys in New Orleans offense. I will say you could do Noah Fant if you want to, but he is the fourth option in that offense, and it's really difficult for him. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm regrettingly playing Pitts. I do not feel good about it. So yeah.
And Jake Ferguson in his last 6 games, any guess total yardage numbers?
I have no idea with Ferguson. I actually have no clue. Like he's been very just it's more than Pitts, I will say probably. 130 or something, maybe
126. Yeah, so really good guess.
Yes, we're gold.
Both of these guys sucking in their last 6 games.
Yeah, that's bad.
Go with Pitts, shoot for upside.
Yeah, shoot for upside. It's likely not going to decide either one way or the other. But Zach Ertz went for like 25 fantasy points last week, so it's entirely possible one of these guys just goes nuclear, right? That's just what it is. We'll answer the secondary question from you. Garendo or Downs at flex? I mean, Downs pretty good. This is a tough one. Where do you have these guys? I'm leaning Garendo. I have him above him, but it's just you're just chasing volume with Garendo. You're going to get it. Even though it's lesser quarterback play and all that fun stuff, I think they're just going to pound the rock and give him a ton of touches.
Yes,
right? So,
yes. Isaac Garendo is my RB11 on the week.
Yep.
So it's I don't even need to look at Downs. It's definitely Garendo. I'm going with that. Clearly, I don't even know where the hell Downs is. I know I have Pittman over him. He just hasn't been doing it lately. We'll see if he does it. Yeah. Is it Flacco confirmed?
Yeah.
They're going to let the old man play.
They're going to let the old man play. So, yeah, like, it was interesting that it was the Michael Pittman, like, went nuclear last week. Like, we saw the Pittman thing. We're like, hey. So, I think Pittman's kind of back to being healthy. Well, healthy because he's dealing with back injury. So, who knows if that thing lingers throughout his career or whatever. But, like, yeah, I have Downs at 55 and Garendo at 41. So, as far as flex spots go. So, I'm definitely playing Garendo. You can definitely be wrong on this one. You know how it is with Flacco. They can just air bail out if he connects 2 times. But, yeah.
Downs could get there, but I'll go Garendo.
Yep. All right. Hey, Jose. Thanks for joining us. 1 running back, 1 flex, 1 wide receiver. So we got Juwan Jennings, Jalen McMillan, Breece Hall, Isaac Grando, the Goblin, a.k.a. J.K. Dobbins, and Rico Dowdle. Let's do these one at a time. So let's do the running backs. We got Breece Hall, Isaac Grando, J.K. Dobbins, Rico Dowdle. I'm assuming we are going Breece Hall here. Or are we going
should be, like I said, I'm high on Garendo, but I do have Breece Hall at 9, Garendo 11. So I'll go Hall. But Garendo's interesting. Dowdle is also interesting. He's my RB10 on the week against Washington.
Very solid.
It's really tough there. Dobbins, I'm just a little bit concerned they hold him back against Las Vegas. He's my RB15 as a result.
Well, yeah, like he's coming off of injury, right? Like he's back in the lineup. He saw he only played 53% of snaps. They gave him the rock 20 times. Those 53% of snaps he gets last week. He gets Vegas. It should be a very good game for him. I'm still going to play Breece Hall. Yeah. But yeah, Dobbins is my second, and then Garendo. So yeah, like I think we're both on the Breece Hall. For the wide receiver, I think it's only it's Juwan Jennings or Jalen McMillan. Because of the quarterback situation, I'm going Jalen McMillan. Are you going Juwan Jennings over Jalen McMillan, or are you playing Jalen McMillan?
I don't know how you fade Jalen McMillan at this point. Jesse, can you pull up, just because I'm interested, in the fantasy playoffs, what number wide receiver he was? Fantasy wide receiver, I guess, in PPR. But I'm looking at his finishes over the last 4 weeks. This includes week 14, so not the playoffs. Wide receiver 8, 18, 19, and 12 in the fantasy playoffs, seeing 7, 6, 7, and 5 targets and scoring 6 times. At least once in every game, 2 games with multiple scores. I'm just riding the Jalen McMillan hype train. Baker's going to throw another 4 tutties against New Orleans. So in a must-win game and just absolutely blow them out. This team, I believe they're winning, they're in, right? So yes, I don't think there's a concern about the team winning this game, but I'm pretty sure because they want to win, I think Baker's just going to go nuclear, and these guys are going to really show what they're made of here heading into the playoffs and gaining momentum. So it's definitely McMillan for me.
Yeah, with since week 14, he is the wide receiver, 14 fantasy points per game. And the playoffs, wide receiver 15 so weeks 15 through 17, he's the wide receiver 15. So he's been the exact same dude, basically. He's been a high-end wide receiver too. He's living off the touchdowns, but like Baker Mayfield's playing some of the best quarterback play you've seen this entire season. So they should be there because that role for fantasy production out, like what Jalen McMillan is doing when he's in the slot, is just, it's like the chef kiss. And this is why Chris Godwin was like the ultimate buy. And then he got injured. And unfortunately, that's what happens, right? So he's filling into that role very, very well. And he's giving you, this is why I think he's priority buy, because I think he's just stepped into that role for him. So, yeah. So we have Breece Hall, we have Jalen McMillan playing. Who is the flex? So we got one guy left. Do we go Garendo? Do we go Dobbins? Do we go Dowdle or Jennings?
So I think you go a running back. And I would say they're all grouped pretty closely for me. So you pick your poison here. If you want to go Dobbins, I understand it. It's week 18. I don't know what the hell to expect here, but I'm at least assuming that they're going to try to hold Dobbins back a little bit. If that's the case, I probably go Garendo, but you can pick any of these guys. I'm going Hall, Garendo, and McMillan based on my rankings.
Yep, that's how I would do it too. Like I like, it's really close between Garendo and freaking Dowdle. It's like the same kind of bet you're making. We'll just go Garendo. We'll go that. So it's really close. Hopefully that helps you, Jose, and hopefully you win your week and you get that championship.
Good luck, brother.
Yeah, it's week 18. So yeah, by the way, y'all need to talk to your fantasy football manager, commissioners, and say, hey, can we not do this again because it's chaos? But maybe somebody like to ride that lightning. So you know what? Maybe keep doing that. Hey. All right, Cody Lambert. Thank you for joining us. Are we going Drake May? Your boy, my boy, Mr. Patriots, core of QB1, or Jordan Love in full PPR? Who are you going with here?
Yuck. So it's Buffalo, right?
Yes.
And Buffalo's not going to score. And I love Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
I just put Jordan Love above Drake May in my dynasty rankings. I wasn't happy about it, but I felt like I had to do it. I have Jordan Love above Drake May in my week 18 rankings as well, 16 and 18. I don't like either of these plays. They're playing really tough defenses. Jordan Love against Chicago, Drake May against Buffalo. They're at least both at home. I just don't see it for Drake May against Buffalo. The one thing that you can maybe hang your hat on is this is a big time passing game for Drake May, and he's able to scramble when he faces that crazy rush that Buffalo is going to bring. Damn it, I'm going to go Drake May, and I'm going to go to 16, Jordan Love to 17. Chicago's been up and down on defense, but they've been really good the last couple of weeks. And Josh Jacobs isn't really going to play, so is Jordan Love really going to play? And who's really going to play? Give me Drake May.
Yeah, like I haven't heard that Jordan Love is going to sit, but that is a little concern with him. So I'm kind of looking that up since we got about 15 minutes of the game starts. So if there's any news about Love not playing the full game, then I do like it gets very concerning. Yeah, so. If it's, I think Love is a safer if they both play full games. They do all of that. I would say Love. I think it becomes a lot more interesting. Yeah, you can go Drake May. I don't mind going Drake May. I had Love above him, but talking about it, it's a little bit more concerning than it was 5 minutes ago when I had these ranks. So
the Chicago Bears are the second worst matchup for quarterbacks on the entire season. Buffalo, like the 8th or 10th worst matchup. So
neither one's good.
Yeah. I'm going Drake May.
Yep. Drake May. Let's ride Drake May. By the way, I'm taking Drake May over Jordan Love in Dynasty. Well, I will live with it. It may cost me. It will, but I've been preaching the Drake May song for a long, long time, so we're not gonna stop now. Yes.
Wait, before we move on, I also put Bo Mix over Drake May in Dynasty.
Oh, Spy, I'm not there. No, I'm not doing that. I just don't think he's that good. So I was had a heated conversation with Matt Cooper about like certain Mr. George Pickens and Xavier Worthy. We were talking about that and like why I prefer. I know I'm very much on like the other side of this. Most people are going to prefer Worthy just because the situation the player has been. I just think Pickens is better overall player. This is me just ranting about a whole different topic. But like with dynasty rankings, you could like move these guys all over the place and you could find basically pockets of value. So if you find pockets of value like you with Bo Nix or Drake May, like any of these guys, and you find that they're buys, I think you should buy them because this is the cheapest they're likely going to be for a long, long time, right? So that's where it's at.
Shameless plug. If you want to talk about Dynasty Market, I just started a new channel. It's called Adjust the Ranks. It is on YouTube. It is on TikTok. It is on Twitter. And we just did a Dynasty Startup Mock Draft 10-team Superflex Tight End Premium. That entire video is on the channel, and we're coming out with shorts daily on that. So if you're doing any dynasty startups in the near future, absolutely check that out. Subscribe this channel, subscribe that channel if you like. And, we appreciate your attention.
Yes, Jeremy's gonna be putting in a lot of hard work this off season, so reward him with a nice subscription and a follow on that channel. It will be fun. Well, I will be joining him a few times on that show.
Yes, more than a few. Yeah, bring it on.
Mooney isn't active. Yeah, like you hope Kyle Pitts to get base rankings. That's the hope. I'll just say that's the hope. That's all we can hope for with it. Is just is what it is. I appreciate you, Brendan, man. One last question. The tight ends. Oh, baby, we're cooking. Are you going Chig, Laporta, or Jonnu this week? Because Jonnu's got freaking Snoop Huntley. Chig's dealing with not Mr. Mayo. It's the other guy. I want to blanking on his name. I should know his name. Is blanking on me. Or Sam Laporta.
Rudolph.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Rudolph. Are you going with Laporta, or are you taking one of the other options? And then defense-wise, we got Falcons, Packers, and Seahawks. So we can answer that one second.
Jonnu was my tight end 4 on the week earlier in the week. I had to move him down, but I only moved him down to tight end 7 because you have to assume that Jonnu is going to be the guy who's least affected by this situation. Wasn't necessarily the case last week. Sam Laporta came through with you. I'm going Sam Laporta. He's my tight end 6. Chig is interesting to me as well, but he's just my tight end 12. So I have it Laporta, Jonnu, Chig. I'm going to stick with Laporta in a must-win game. I think this is going to be an absolute shootout because Minnesota is going to score pretty much at will, and then Detroit, even against a good defense, is going to score pretty much at will because that's what Detroit does. So, I like Laporta in this one.
Yeah, he just feels a hell of a lot safer than the other two. I'd play Chig over Jonnu, but that's just the fact that Jonnu has Snoop Huntley as opposed to, and Chig is just cooking the last few weeks. And specifically, the head coach has talked about Chig's role growing in him developing as a player. So I'm buying into that for this other week. But yeah, I'm still playing Laporta over him. So I'd go Laporta, Chig, and then Jonnu. Defensive wise, Falcons, Packers, Seahawks, because the Seahawks get a backup quarterback. The Packers play the Chicago Bears, and the Falcons, they are playing the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think they're playing the Bucks. I might be wrong on that as I pull this up really quick.
I'll tell you. Let me give you the matchups real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So the Falcons first, they're playing at home against Carolina in a must-win game.
Oh, that's right.
The Packers are playing at home against Chicago in a they don't have to really win the game. The Seahawks are playing on the road against the Rams, but like you mentioned, they're out of it, but like you mentioned, they definitely are playing a backup quarterback and potentially likely no Kyron Williams. We won't know for sure until later. And then, that's it. So that's the 3 of them. I have these teams all pretty close, but I have the Packers well ahead against Chicago. I don't like that. I think I prefer Atlanta. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like the Seahawks and Falcons are kind of ranked in top 10 for me. The Packers are above them, but we haven't heard of if they're benching anyone on defense. That's kind of the concern with them. If they run the full gauntlet out there, they just run the entire team out there. I would prefer their defense. It's the best out of the group. But what you're getting. I will say Garoppolo, he's a quality backup as far as backups go. It's not Josh Dobbs. What you're getting on Garoppolo. So I still think he can move it against the Seahawks. I do not mind going Falcons at all. I think that's a solid play. But we also have Bryce Young playing very well that game too. So we'll see if he can ruin them their day. But they are generating pressures at a higher rate the last 6 weeks, give or take. So I'm fine going with the Falcons. I'm going to go with them.
I'm just curious. The last time Jimmy Garoppolo played an NFL game, any guesses?
It's been a minute. I do not actually remember the last time he played.
I got you. Week 8 last year, he went 10 for 21 for 126 with no touchdowns and 1 interception. Rough. In fact, he played the beginning of the year because remember we had that. Was it the Rams? Was there Matthew Stafford arm issue?
I think
Does that sound right? Maybe somewhere else.
Wrong.
I
think he was in
Vegas.
Yeah,
he was.
I think he got cut. Yeah, I think he got cut from Vegas early.
Okay. That makes sense. But it doesn't make sense. Thinking Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be able to do much against the Seahawks defense. The Seahawks are not great, but minus Kyron, I might play Seattle, Jesse. What are you thinking?
Yeah, you can go that route. I like what Seahawks offer. Their defense has been pretty Jekyll and Hyde. Like they're just like it's been so up and down with them. Jimmy's a hell of a lot worse quarterback than Matthew Stafford. I will tell you that. So, fun fact: the Seahawks could be the second team since like the Dolphins, but this was the COVID year to get 10 wins and not make the playoffs. So yeah, Seahawks can get that little nugget, which is fantastic. Well done. Nice job. Not maybe don't lose to the Giants. I don't know. That just maybe don't do that. You might make the playoffs. But anyways, yeah, I'm fine with going with the Seahawks. Like they're all very similar. I don't have a.
They are all very similar. I'm changing my tune. If there's one thing that's true, is that Caleb Williams will take at least 3 sacks in this game. So I'm gonna go Green Bay. I'm gonna go Green Bay.
What about if you include the Broncos defense? Is that
good Lord? Literally 6, 7, 8, 9 for me. All of these defenses. Green Bay is at the top of that list.
Yeah. So it's Carson Wentz versus Jimmy G. Find out which quarterback you want to play against. There you go. You get your answer, right? Wentz, Mr. the original Will Levis, he's gonna give you the meme, throw the pick or something. Garoppolo is gonna hospital ball kill one of his offense, like his wide receivers. Yeah. It's gonna be glorious. Yeah, I would play the Broncos defense. I have more faith in them. But yeah, like the Chiefs don't need to win. Like they have no incentive to do much of anything. So the resting guys. So I'm fine going Broncos. I would say Packers are safe too as well. But yeah, so Broncos does change my answer personally. If you want to go that, or like they're all like good options. So I'm gonna say Broncos. Where do you want to go?
I'm going Green Bay, but Broncos are my number 2. So if you want to go with Jesse, I don't have an issue there.
All right, back to stuff we actually spend a bit more time on the defense. As much as I don't spend time on defense. So yeah. Rico Dowdle or Tony Pollard. Are we going with your boy Tony Pollard once again to round out the fantasy season? Ride the lightning that is Tony Pollard.
So disappointing. So disappointed in Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, you disappoint me because you get injured right when we want you the most. And Tajay Spears has the games that you were supposed to have in the fantasy playoffs. But anyway, I digress. Rico, RB10 this week, not even close. Tony Pollard not in that RB1 or RB2 conversation. Where do I have him? 31 against Houston. He's questionable. I don't think he gets the full workload. I don't think he gets the full workload. Chestnut and whoever the hell else is there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I will move him up because Tank is out, but yeah, I'm still going to go Rico. There's no way Tony Pollard gets to my top 10. Rico is RB10.
Ooh, interesting. I have them actually really close. So I will say they are basically back to back. But yeah, like the role Rico plays is really, really good for fantasy production. Now, the problem is his quarterback is Trey Lance. And that is my biggest problem with Rico Dowdle this week and why I'm terrified to play him anywhere. So I have a slightly into Pollard, but yeah, I think Rico's going to get volume. So I think you're getting volume from both of these guys is the way I'll phrase it.
Yes.
Because I don't think they're going to bench either one of them. Like, what's the point, right? Like, what do you have to lose benching them, right? So you can reassess their contracts in the offseason. You can do all that fun stuff, right? So I will go Pollard, but I think Dowdle is a good play this week too. So yeah, I'm with Jerry if you want to go that way as well. Yeah, thanks, Mumbly. Appreciate you joining us. We have 6 minutes left here. All right, since we have no questions about this start, what else would you like to talk about? Is there any player that you're focusing on? Any other matchups that intrigue you? Obviously, we are very excited about to see who gets the 1 seed, the NFC between the Vikings and the Lions, but maybe you have something else on your mind.
I do want to ask you this question. Where do you have Jaden Daniels ranked this week?
Oh, that is a good question. Let me check my rankings.
Dallas, at Dallas.
It's pretty high. I mean, like, they're probably trying to, like, I mean, they're obviously assured playoffs. And all news we have of him is that don't you mention? How was I hit that? Yeah, I have him 3. I'm treating Jaden Daniels like he's just playing regular, so he's locked in. I think the only guy I've had above him was Lamar Jackson QB1. I had Baker Mayfield QB2. I might need to push Daniels above Mayfield, but yeah, that's where I have him. Where do you have him at?
I have him at 6, but I expect a very good game. I just put Goff and Darnold ahead of him because I think that game is going to be a shootout and they absolutely have to win. But here's my follow-up question, Jesse. Where do you have Jaden Daniels ranked amongst your dynasty QBs?
Tier 1. He's in that tier. I don't care which way you would phrase it, but he's the top tier. So he's in there with Hurts. He's in there with those guys, Lamar. Like Lamar's QB1, but like Hurts is there, Daniels is there. I think Daniels is like QB3 in dynasty, to tell you the truth. He might be. Yeah, I think I got to look up my rankings because I haven't touched him in like a week. But yeah,
So
I think he's.
I'll tell you. I just did my rankings. Jaden Daniels is my QB4 in Dynasty. Guess where he was taken in the startup draft that we did yesterday?
Probably not there. Wait, no. Ooh, this goes either way. Somebody took him really high. 1? Oh, baby. I honestly don't blame him. I don't blame him.
1. No, you can't because he's, what is he, 22, 23 years old. He's looked great. He's only got, he's going to ascend from here. And look, he's unlikely to be the QB1 next year. But the year after that, maybe he's got that potential. He looks great. He's a leader. He throws the ball out there. He runs. He's Lamar Jackson, but 6 years younger than Lamar is. God. Jaden Daniels 101 in your Superflex Dynasty startup drafts. It's going to happen more often than you think.
Yeah, Lamar's 27, so there's like a 3-year age gap between them. Because Daniels is older, like he came out as an older prospect. But yeah, he's ran it 144 times this year. Anytime you're getting a quarterback running it 144 times, like Lamar's up there as well. Lamar's at 139 times. These are the two most guys that run the most, along with Jalen Hurts. You know what you're getting, right? And to your point, it's if you want to go younger, you know what you're getting. Because here's their wide receiver room. I'm just gonna say this: outside Terry McLaurin, it's KJ Osborne, it's Alama Zaccheaus, it's old-ass Jamison Crowder, it's De'Ami Brown, it's Luke McCaffrey, who's been nothing this entire year. I know people were hyping up Luke McCaffrey. He's been abysmal. He's a nothing for them. So they need to add to that wide receiver room. Get them another playmaker. They hope to be Noah Brown. He's out for the year. So just I know the wide receiver class sucks this year. It's you can still find guys that'll be an upgrade over what they have in this wide receiver room. So if you boost the talent around him, it can get a lot better. This is what he's doing as a rookie. That's the entire thing. He's going to be
you can plug this guy in anywhere, but I've heard rumors of T. Higgins to Washington. To me, that makes a ton more sense. That makes a ton more sense than somewhere like New England, because T. Higgins is going to be like, oh yeah, and I want to win. I want the bag.
Yeah, for sure.
This team's going to give me the bag. This team's going to be the bag, and I want the team that is set up to win now. And that's obviously Washington going to the playoffs and the stark turnaround. After getting rid of all of those defensive assets as well. The defense has turned around pretty significantly under Dan Quinn in just one full offseason. And then, of course, you have Jaden Daniels in the offense doing amazing things. They need to bring in a wide receiver in free agency, whoever that happens to be. They need to draft another wide receiver and fortify that O-line. I think they will do these things. Jaden Daniels, 101, why not?
I mean, it's entirely possible. Yeah, and Terry McLaurin's free. He's got one more year in his contract. He's free agent after 2025. So I'm assuming we're getting an extension because you don't want to do that to his wide receiver one. They've done it. They're both top 5 at the position. So yeah, we'll see that. Could save some money, and then that's how you bring in a big name wide receiver. So let's find it. Give him T. Well, even though I don't think he's leaving Cincy, but give him T. The Terry. Hey yo, we're cooking with gas, baby. We got 1 minute left on our Sit Start show. The last one of 2020. Well, technically,
got to hit publish.
2024 season. Yes, funny story. I forget this every week. We'll do a rankings. I'm doing it every week, and I mean, and show them. Like, God damn it! I always forget. So hey, they're published this week. Is it going to be good news? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll go back on Tuesday and find out where these rankings end up. No one knows because there's chaos each and every week. But yeah. It's been a fun season, so thank you all for joining us on all of our Sit Start shows. We like to have a good time, so yeah, we appreciate y'all for getting us on our journey to 1,000. We're trucking along to that goal. We're gonna be doing off-season content all nonstop, pretty much. So I know Aaron's gonna be handling a lot of rookie stuff. Essy's gonna be doing a lot of things, doing a lot of dynasty content. Yeah, make sure you check out Jeremy's ATR. Adjust the Rakes, baby. Go check it out. Sure. It's gonna be a lot of fun stuff coming out there. But yeah, I'm enough talking. We're set. Go win your Week 18 championships and then go lord it over your competition because that's what this is all about. Right. It's all bragging rights, baby. So yeah. So for Jeremy and the rest of the FFU, we out, folks. Have a good one. Listen up, closely let the game